I, 28, think my girlfriend, 26, has been using my gym socks to wipe after going to the bathroom. I lead a very regular life, and I assumed my partner did as well. We've been dating for a few months and moved in together after things became serious. We began to share many of the home tasks, but one thing she insisted on doing was the washing. She'd come home and find me in the bedroom doing laundry, and she'd swiftly tell me to go do something else. I'd come back to complete the washing, and she'd already begun. I always felt it was lovely and never her responsibility to do it alone, but hey, if doing it all the time makes her happy, I wouldn't stop her. This is when things start to get strange. All of my socks and underwear are kept in the bottom drawer of my dresser. I also go to the gym on a regular basis, so I usually have a decent supply of clean gym socks on hand. I never kept track of how many pairs I had, but a quick scan revealed that I had numerous. When I went to get a new pair of socks for the gym this morning, I saw there were numerous pairs of dress socks, but no workout socks. Again, this is not unusual. They must have been in the wash. When I went to check the laundry basket, it was empty, so I proceeded to check the washer and dryer. They were both vacant. I couldn't figure out where I'd lost all of my athletic socks. So I did the obvious thing and asked my girlfriend what had happened to them. After all, she is the one who is always doing the laundry. She became quiet, flushed crimson, and bolted from the room. When I followed her to check whether she was all right, she refused to speak to me. I said that I wasn't angry and that I was only hunting for my socks. "Oh no," she murmured. Of course, I wasn't angry, but I was perplexed. Socks just do not vanish. So I asked her again, even joked about it, and she became angry and said, "I'll get you new ones." The first thing that sprang to me was that she had somehow managed to ruin my socks while washing them. I found the sight of that to be rather amusing, so I joked with her about destroying my socks. Wrong thing, to say the least. She burst into tears instantly. I mean, full-on bawling. I don't care about the socks at this point. I want to know what's wrong with my partner. I sat down next to her on the bed, placed my arm over her, and asked if she was all right. She simply kept apologizing and promising to get me new socks. I attempted to reassure her once again that everything was okay. I even went so far as to say I'd buy her new socks so she wouldn't have to. I stayed with her for a few minutes, attempting to calm her down, before having to leave to get ready for work. I told her I loved her and gathered my belongings to go for the day. I gathered the rubbish to carry outside on my way out. When I walked outside, I raised the lid of the garbage can and spotted a little plastic bag on top of the debris that was already in there. I could see through the bag. It was one of those semi-transparent ones, and there were socks inside. I wanted to check for myself since I was certain she had ruined the socks while washing them. When I opened the bag, I instantly regretted my decision. Several pairs of my exercise socks were coated in what seemed to be excrement inside the bag. I knew it was poop as soon as I smelled it. We do not have any pets. We don't have any children. Where was the poop on my socks? Work might be put off. I couldn't spend the rest of the day wondering why my workout socks were covered in excrement and wrapped in a plastic bag in the rubbish bin. I took the bag and went back inside. When my girlfriend saw the bag, she freaked out and began shouting at me. She stated I shouldn't be rummaging through the rubbish and that bringing it back into the home was horrible. I told her to calm down and that all I needed to know was why there was feces on my socks. I wasn't blaming her for anything, but she began accusing me of doing so. That's when it hit me. I'm not sure what prompted me to ask, but everything leading up to this point had been insane. "Is this your poop?" I inquired. She burst into tears again and hurried out of the home. I didn't pursue her this time. So now I'm sitting on my bed, a bag of poopy socks on the floor, and a lot of questions running through my brain. The only logical conclusion is that she used them after using the restroom. That, in and of itself, raises its own set of questions above and beyond anything else. I texted her, begging her to return. She has yet to react. I'm not sure what I'm going to say when she returns, if she returns. Update. I had to leave to go to work and I'm now there. Yes, I threw away the poopy socks bag. She texted me back, obviously mortified, but she felt she owed me an explanation. She stated she didn't want to speak about it in person and that we could talk about it through text and that we shouldn't bring it up in person. I'm trying to condense the chat and fill in the blanks as best I can. Her comments are brief, but I catch the gist of what she's saying. I asked her outright whether it was a fetish. This isn't a fetish. She admitted to wearing the socks after using the restroom. I discovered that she always washes the laundry to hide the fact that she wipes with socks, especially her own. I had no reason to query the number of socks she ever wore, since who cares about that? She expected me to notice and think it was odd, since she doesn't own many socks. She stated that she had been doing this for a long time. Her argument, as far as I can tell, is that she is a germaphobe, her term, and is frightened that toilet paper will shred, and that she will get her hands dirty in any way. She wears socks because they protect her whole hand. She discards them after she's through with them. She wore my socks since she didn't have any other socks. So, since my girlfriend is afraid of putting excrement on her hands, she wipes them with socks, and she has done so for a long time. I suppose it might be worse. I'm hoping we can joke about it afterwards. I'm trying to find the comedy in it now, but I'm still perplexed. Story 2. My 28 female family planned to skip my wedding because they hate the groom, 31 male. I was on the phone with my folks on a daily basis throughout this period. They observed the difference from me yelling about Ryan to shouting his praises whenever I had the opportunity. I bumped across Ryan at a coffee shop a few months after I graduated and encouraged him to sit with Teddy and me. We spoke for a while, and I gave him my phone number. For a few weeks, it remained platonic until he stated that he hoped this wasn't too forward, but he'd asked a few of hypothetical questions at university, and if I wanted to date, we could. I told him that was extremely direct, so he should be thankful he's cute. I didn't notify my parents we were dating until we were a few months in, which is also when Ryan formally informed the university, at around 6 months after my graduation. We've been together for 2 years. We've been the brunt of a few jokes, which we've accepted, but my parents and siblings came down hard on Ryan because of how we met and what I told them about Ryan during his first year of teaching. They also seemed to believe that when I started being polite to him in 3rd year, that's when things started with us. We've made it apparent to everyone that he's not how the chronology works, and Ryan has done all he can to impress them. They'd even questioned Teddy about his emotions for Ryan and attempted to give him answers. I terminated this, but their sentiments about Ryan remain overwhelmingly unfavorable. Ryan proposed on New Year's Eve, with Teddy's assistance. Yes, I said. We're planning a wedding, and when I asked my mother for assistance with the guest list for my family, she told me not to worry since no one wanted to attend, including her, my father, and my siblings. My brother, 32M, is the most likely to attend, but that's it for my whole extended family, since they don't like Ryan. Is anything that can be done at this point? Is there anything we can do on our end to get them to come? We spoke for a while, and I gave him my phone number. For a few weeks, it remained platonic until he stated that he hoped this wasn't too forward, but he'd asked a few of hypothetical questions at university, and if I wanted to date, we could. I told him that was extremely direct, so he should be thankful he's cute. I didn't notify my parents we were dating until we were a few months in, which is also when Ryan formally informed the university, at around 6 months after my graduation.